Hey guys, I'm Peter Melhorn. Come along with me today as we're going fishing for wintertime catfish on Lake Wateree in South Carolina. Plan is today we're going to be drifting some deeper water. The water temps are down into the lower 50s. I've had guide trips out here for the past several days, and we've targeted waters all the way from up in the river, right below the upper dam, all the way down to the deeper water. Better fishing seems to be on the lower end of the lake right now. It's a little bit stained. We've had some rain. They've moved some water through the system, and so we're dealing with that. You've heard me say before, I don't exactly like dragging in muddy water. This isn't really as much muddy as its typical Lake Wateree stain looking water, so it's not that bad. We're going to be using some chicken and some perch. So let's go get the boat dropped in the water and see what we can catch. Put in at Molly Creek, which is a brand new ramp. Really nice facility they've got here. Something this lake's needed. It's like glass out there right now. There's no wind, no breeze, no nothing. We got rain coming this afternoon. So hopefully we can get on some fish. Wind's supposed to pick up a little bit later in the day here, so we'll be dealing with that. But for now, it's nice. All right, guys, we're set up. We're getting ready to get set up in our first place here. Gonna make a drag. Wind's calm for now, so we can kind of go where we want to. So I'm gonna work this channel edge down through here, kind of where we finished up on our guide trip and found some fish. Got, like I said, some good old chicken. I ain't got a whole lot left. We caught the hound out of fish on it yesterday. So, but our big fish came on that right there. A big piece of perch. So we will be putting a couple of perch baits out, some big ones. I'm gonna put those on the outside planer boards, and then put the chicken on the other 4 rods. So want to catch some fish, but would like to get a good one. We may switch over to just big baits here in a little bit and see what we do, see if we can put a pig in a boat. But for now, get them in the water, see if we can catch a few fish. This one here with the big cork on it, this big santee rig. I'm gonna put this on. Nice little chunk of bait. It was funny, I think we only caught 2 fish all day out of 20 fish, which is a phenomenal day for wintertime fishing on Lake Wateree. 20 is a great day of fishing. It was an excellent bite yesterday. But the big fish, it did come on a piece of perch. So who knows, was that the bait, the place, or just chance? Who knows? But we'll take them. Every other fish, 18 fish, came on chicken. So they definitely like it here on Lake Wateree too. Of course, there's a lot of mussels. These a lot of those fish we were pulling in the boat were pooping out aquatic snails and stuff as they got in the boat. So like I say, that's what they're feeding on. Planer boards, clip in the back, B-cap boards. Got this clip in the front, it's got a little peg in it. I like these for trolling. These are my go-tos. Gonna get it untangled off the rod. There we go. Put that sucker in the water. Get the rest of them out. Perch head. They had santee rigs, little small float, Bone Town drifting weight. This leader material here is 50 pound Andy monofilament, nothing special. Then Andy line on the rods, and big cat fever medium light. Something new this year, trolling rod. Real flexible tip on them. Very forgiving tip. I think I could catch stripers with the tip on this rod, but the back end's plenty stiff. We brought in a 47 pound blue out here yesterday, and that was a 13-year-old kid doing it, so it'll bring in the big fish too. Probably something I wouldn't take into a river with swift current. You just have to work harder, but I guarantee you'd get the fish in. That looks like a hookup, guys. Bang. We are hooked. Planer board, outside planer board. It's one of the big baits. Let's see what we got here. Got a little fan club boat right behind us. So we will see what we got. I don't think this is a giant fish. He did not bury it. It's almost like he struggled to eat that bait. But a fish is a fish is a fish is a fish. So much easier doing planer boards when you got somebody else on the boat. There we go. Yeah, he's not a big fish, but we'll take him. Happy to have him. Happy to have him. I said 4 pounds. We'll see. We will see. Come on, baby. Yeah, he doesn't have a big fish head shake. You catch enough of these, you can tell by the shake on their head how big they are. See if we can bring him up here. There he is. Good blue. Come here, sucker. You ate my good big bait too. Stop, stop, stop. Got him. Got him. Big bait eating machine, baby. Perfect hook set on it. Corner of the mouth. Is it getting away? 11 pounds. Nice fish. Good one. All right, guys, there's fish number 1 in the boat. Didn't take too long. Got onto that one within the first 20 minutes or so, so that's good. Just trying to drag, straddling this river channel out here. I got a boat right nearby me that is striper fishing, so I'm trying to stay away from them, but trying to straddle this channel. So got that one. Proves there's some fish here. Proof of concepts, it works. Interesting thing was, this is what they were, or this one was pooping out in the boat. They're at least this one was in here eating some aquatic snails. This is similar to another mollusk that is like the mussels and stuff that's in here. So they feed on a lot of this stuff in the bottom. And I think that's why chicken is so effective in a lot of these areas where they're feeding on this stuff. But get this bait back out, try to hook into another one. There he is. Yep. He there. He hit the bait and started coming to me. That's okay. That's all right. We'll take that. This is a chicken bait. I actually made a turn and pulled away from the river channel. Didn't want to be right beside that boat. I made the turn and got away from the river channel. I got 2 good bites real quick. We'll take him. We'll take him. Do a little shuffle here. This one actually feels heavier. Not sure if he is. same size. Stop. Gotcha. Chicken bait. Get a plier. Chicken bait. That one weigh about 10 pounds. Good looking fish. Got a little bit of mud. Good entertainment. Waiting on a big one. All right, there's number 2 in the boat. That one came really quickly. That was right after that one. I got the last fish. I got it back in, baits back in the water, and boom, put that one in the boat pretty quick. So probably some fish feeding in that area. Looked like the same age class, size class as that one, first one. So that's good. I'm glad I got them. I'm gonna keep moving though. Normally, if this was, you know, an area, or if I just want to catch a bunch of these fish, or there's a guy trip who wants some box fish, these would be perfect. But I keep moving up this channel edge, staying away from the striper boat that's out here, and steer clear of them and get back on this ledge, see what's there, see if they're up on the ledge, the bottom in the river channel. Just have to mess around here and figure out what's working. The good thing is, it's slick as glass out here today, so we kind of got freedom to move around and get where we want to. All right, guys, we may have a fish. Yep, we got a fish. That's a good fish. I think that's a good fish. So if you stay buttoned. Yep, he is hooked up. Outside planer. It's got the big bait on it. Boom. Better fish, better fish. We'll take a better fish all day long. Made a little turn. I got him away from that boat. He's a good ways away now. Kind of all over me there for a second, but I got away from it. They were striper fishing, and I think they were on a channel edge, and I wanted to cut across. So I tried to stay out of their way as long as possible. Finally got back away from them. Man, these boards are a lot more fun to get off when you got somebody else on the boat to do it. That's what I love about my guide trips. I can let the boards, I can move the anglers around and get them into a position where getting the board off is a lot easier. Okay. I ain't felt the weight on this fish yet. I think it may be in the teens, maybe. We'll see, we'll see. The kid we had on here yesterday hooked into a whopper, 47-pound blue on one of these rods. And you can tell these things have got a lot of bend, but they got a lot here in the back end. Yesterday was a good test. He got a workout. He was little. He got a workout, but he got the fish in. So I feel confident this will bring in any fish I hook into. What we got here? Stay there. Some bubbles. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Great fish, great fish. We'll take that all day long. Great fish. Simmer. There we go. In the boat. In the boat. Hook out. Boom. Let's see, getting away. Hey, about 14 pounds. Not a giant. I'm happy to have it. Pow, there's number 3. That was a good fish. A little upgrade from the other ones, about 14 pounds. Nice fish. Hit the big bait. So that's 2 we've had come on that bait. One of them was a little bit smaller, but maybe we'll get on some fish. Like I said yesterday, I think we had 20 fish. 18 of them came on chicken. Today may be a little different. I've only got 2 pieces of perch out. I may switch over here. We'll see. Put more of them out, but you know, right now I've just got 2 of them out on the outside. 2 big chunks, a head and then a body section. So it's a big piece of bait. So we'll see if we get on some fish feeding on that. But again, wind has still laid down. It's overcast, mild temperatures, about 55-degree water. It did not cool down a lot. And I think that's probably from some of this darker waters absorbing some of the heat here a little bit better. Probably is helping, or at least holding it. So rain's coming in this afternoon, some rain tonight, and then it's going to be moderate temperatures tomorrow. Then midweek it gets really cold. We're back down into the low 20s, which is low cold temperatures for us here in the south. So try to catch them while the getting's good. All right, guys, I think I've got one going on this rod. Yep. Smaller fish. On the chicken. I made a turn, came across the river channel, up out of the river channel. I'm pulling into a cove right now just to try something a little different. I may have one on this rod over here. Just to try something a little different, see if there's anything back in these coves. We worked this main lake stuff pretty heavy yesterday. Caught fish, but totally different conditions today. It was sunny, post-frontal conditions yesterday. Some wind. Today, totally different animals. So since it's early, I'm gonna go ahead and work into this little cove, just see if there's fish pulling up in here. We got a small one. We got us a small blue. Bang. Good eater size fish right there. If I was keeping some to eat, that would be the fish that I kept. Stop. Good eater size. Boy, that hook worked. Let me grab a pair of pliers here. Buried that hook. Boom. Got him. A little bit of mud on the side. Got a little mud on the side. Get him back alive. Yeah, I know a lot of people like fishing deep. Fish that deep water for those big fish. And listen, it can be a very, very productive strategy for catching fish. It's where we caught the big fish on yesterday's trip. But sometimes these coves, these little pockets, will hold some fish in the wintertime, and I'm not sure why. I've had several trips over the years where the wind was kind of blowing me up into one of these coves, and I'm thinking like, well, I'll finish up in this cove, and boom, you get up into it, and poof, you nail a really, really good fish. So sometimes they're up in here. Not sure why. Sometimes the water can be warmer, especially in some of the shallower areas. That could be bait pushed up in here. If you've got an area where wind's been blowing for several days and it's blowing up into here, it can push that plankton, which will push bait fish, and just pushes a lot of life in there. So sometimes it's worth fishing those places to see what's in them. Not always. I've seen some guys win some tournaments though, pulled up in a little cove pocket and just killed a fish in the wintertime. So it's one of the things we kind of tend to overlook because we think we're supposed to be fishing deeper water. Fish are going to go deep for whatever reason. It's kind of the mentality. We get that same mentality in the summertime too, that there's something special in the deep water. But the truth of the matter is, first and foremost, fish need oxygen. They ain't going to be in water where there's no oxygen. Second of all, they need food. And last thing's comfort. Comfort's last on the list. Outside of ice, these blue catfish can live about anywhere, no matter what the temperature is. They may like some better than others, but they can live in it. So we'll see what's in here, then we'll make a move. And it's one rod flopping right here. I think there's a fish on it that it's going for an Uber ride. Look at that. Oh yeah, I think he's a little small one. This is a piece of chicken on this one. Made a long pull through here. And no bites. Came across the river channel, got up here onto the flat. I'm gonna parallel this river channel down through here. Like I said, wind's in my favor because there ain't a lot of it. So I can kind of straddle. There goes a good bite right there. There's a good bite on that planer. Might have come up into him here. Unless this fish is into that. This fish kind of swam where it wanted to. That one's hooked up. We'll get over to it in a second. Let's get this one in. This is a small fish. I'm kind of walleye fishing him in, nursing him in. Get him in here. Get him counting. I see there's some bigger fish. Still got the big baits out. Trying to get me some extra perch here, but man, the perch, I've been dragging this perch rod all morning and have not caught one. This may be into that planer board line because this line is 12 miles back. Actually, it's not. I would have known it by now. Small fish. Get him up here. Good blue. Oh, he swallowed that bait. Uh-oh. Oh, he swallowed it. He's gonna be a mess. You may become eagle food here, fish. Boom, got it out pretty easy. The old Boone pliers make a difference. Get you some of these. I wish I was sponsored by them, but I'm not. These are great pliers to get some of these things. The way that handle shaped, it is perfect. It's like a needle nose pliers on crack. They're jacked up a little bit. Makes it real easy to get in there and move around. Let's see if that fish is on that planer board. All right, it was this one here. Let's see if he stayed buttoned up. He hit it good. I don't think he's a monster, but we're happy to have fish, guys. Happy to have fish. He is there. I'm digging the action on these trolling rods. Hang that one up real quick. Let's get this planer board in here. I feel him. He's pulling. Like I said, try it when you're doing the planer boards by yourself. Try to keep the line tight all the time. I usually turn the rod tip away from me. If you got two people on the boat, it's a little bit easier. You can kind of get the planer board off, use your hand to keep tension, and then have the person reel down to your hand. And that seems to work really good. He's better than the last one, but he's not a monster. Come on there, sucker. I see your head shaking. These last two were on chicken, by the way. It's a good fish. Is he liftable? I think he is. I think he is. I think he is. Stop flashes there, thrashing. There we go. Get him in here and get him freed up. Be another good size eater. That one there you can get a couple sandwiches off of. Don't slap the camera. You'll get water on it. Little mud on his side. I saw some on the sonar earlier. Looked like they were laid in the mud. Could be what's going on. Let's get him back. All right, guys, starting to warm up a little bit out here. It's a little more tolerable. Wind's starting to pick up just a little bit. It feels like we got a little breeze out of the south right now. The pull into the cove did not pay off. There were no fish in there. Pulled pretty good ways back in there. No takers. So decided to turn back around, make a pull, came out to the mouth of it, right where it dumps out into the lake, and making them one more pull out through here back toward where we caught those fish earlier around the river channel. I'm actually dropping into the river channel right now. Baits will be coming down the channel edge here in a second. It's loaded. You can look over my shoulder and see the screen. It's loaded with bait. There's tons of bait in here. Tons of fish. Fish around them. Some of them are stripers, some are catfish, some are bass. There's all kinds of fish in here. So we're going to keep making this pull down through here for a little ways. And then I'll make a decision what I'm going to do. Probably going to relocate. Probably go try a different area and cover some water. But for now, it's very comfortable fishing out here, even though it's overcast, a little bit of broken clouds, a little sun popping through, starting to get up into the 40s. Supposed to warm up to around 60 today, which will be really nice. I'm gonna have to get rid of a couple of layers of stuff, but it's good fishing. Lake's not crowded. There was a bunch of people out here yesterday. There was a big Southeastern Catfish Club tournament. A lot of boats on the water. Today, not so many. It's a Sunday, and a few less people out here. So kind of some room to fish, even though this spot seemed to have some boats around it. I just had another striper boat that was kind of in front of me that just pulled off. So a few people out here, but it's a great time to get out. I know you guys up north, you don't get to fish because your stuff's iced over or it's brutal cold. We just have cold. It's not brutal cold. So we're lucky if you can get out here, you can catch some good fish, you can have some good days. But not everybody gets to, so I'm blessed to do it and take advantage of it. Okay. Keep fishing, see if we can find one. That's a good hit. That rod just folded over. Let's see if it's still there. Yep, he's there. He's there. That was one of the bigger baits. There he goes. He's hooked. Planer board, outside planer board. I just got that bait back in the water off that small fish. And this one got whammy. Definitely something different up here on these flats. It's amazing how that works. Yesterday, it was fishing those edges. That's where the biting fish were today. Up on the flats. That's why sometimes you just gotta move. You can't stay in one place fishing for ghosts. This will be a better fish. Ooh, try not to get too much slack in the line there. Ooh, getting slack, getting slack, getting slack. Like I said, I like to get the planers off. You can leave them on. A lot of times people will just pop them loose and let them go down the line. If you're in a situation where you can get them off, I think it's better, especially when it comes to netting fish and getting them in the boat. I just think it's easier to operate that way. Like I said, if you got two people, I got kind of a system down for doing it. It's pretty easy. What I do is I have the person walk to the front of the boat. So basically the rod tip's hitting me in the face. That way when planer gets up here, I can keep tension on the line with my hand and pop the planer board. And then what I have them do is reel down to my hand while I got the line. That way there's never any slack in the line. Doing it by myself, you can get some slack in it. If you're not careful. But I try to be careful. It's a nice fish. It's probably be the better fish of the day so far. Wow, he's running off to the side. Thinks he's a striper. We got here. See if he's a boga grip or a nettable fish. Probably better off netting that fish. My net. There we go. All right, I'm back. I got my net ready. That's a good fish, guys. It's a real good fish. Yes, sir. We will take a fish like that all day long. That's a nice one. Got some mud on its side. Let's get him in here and get a weight on him. Dude, I may have one on that planer back there going. That board looks awful far back and I ain't been paying it any attention. Probably look back in the video and see it going. There we go. I tell you what, that hook came out easy. That was either it popped loose while we were netting him or he was barely in there. Fish has got some mud on it too. I've seen a couple of good arches back there that were laid, looked like it were laid in the mud. About 18 pounds, nice fish. Stop, stop, stop. There he is, good fish. Interesting color pattern right there. Nice fish though. On a perch head, or a perch chunk at least. Good fish. All right guys, there's fish 5 and 6 in the boat. It did make a difference, man. I pulled that cove and just didn't put any fish in the boat back there, not even any bites. Came back out, got across that river channel, and boom, 2 fish pretty quickly. Interesting to know where the fish are. I'm out here away from where all the bait was, that big old wad of bait. So I'm out here onto a flat. River channel's back that way. I'm gonna drag through here, see if there's some fish in here. A lot less competition for bait. I think you can catch fish in there. There's some good fish in there. I think you're just gonna have to be content with dragging. If you're trying to catch a big fish, put out some big baits and hope for the best. But I'm gonna cover some water out here, see what we got in here, see if it makes a difference with catching any fish. I'll eventually wind back up at the edge of the river channel. I'm gonna kind of straddle it. So just doing a little exploring here, figuring out what's going on. I haven't fished this part of the lake this winter so far, so kind of just doing a little bit of prospecting and covering some water. Winds very light now, about 3-4 miles an hour, so still trolling through here nice and slow, and hoping we can pop a couple more. Actually, there goes the rod right there. That one is going off as we speak. Couldn't have timed that any better than that, could you? Another chicken bait. We'll take that one. Boom, there goes one right there. Planer board just got popped. So it could be there's either more fish out here on this flat, or we just have a lot less bait to compete with. Get on this. There we go. Not big fish. These are great eater fish. If you were keeping fish to eat, these would be perfect. But they're here for a reason. They're probably in here feeding. If I can find the right spot, I may be able to get into a big one. Get him up in here. Is the hook good enough to lift? Boom, there he goes. Man, another blue. Another good looking blue. Simmer. What if that one's still on that planer? I don't think he stayed hooked up. Okay. There we go, good fish. All right, guys, let's see if there's anything on this outside planer board that I thought had went out. Yep, feels like there's a fish on it. That's funny. I knew it was set really far back. That was kind of odd. Only thing was, it was just swimming along with the planer. I don't know if it just gave up, but it feels like a decent fish. Let me get this line out of the way. I'm hoping it's not wrapped up in another planer board out there and got kind of lassoed or something. We'll find out in a second. You get one like that, it gets hooked, they start going left and right and all over the place, and they can find another line. There's a real good chance it's on that inside planer board. Because if he got hooked and started swimming side to side while we were messing with that other fish, it could be a mess. We will see here. We will see. All of a sudden, it went from 45 minutes of downtime and deadness when I was up in that creek cove to putting a bunch of fish in the boat really quickly. That's right in line with that planer. He feels heavy. I got a feeling that planer is going to start going sideways in a second. A lot of bend in that rod. If he's not in that thing, he's a good fish. Yeah, he's in that other place. He's in the planer board. That'll happen. That'll happen. Probably lassoed up in some lines. We'll have to do a reset on this one for sure. This will be a 5-pound fish pulling in 10 pounds of gear and planers and water resistance. It's a good fish. Got him. See if we can minimize how much tangle. There's that old perch head. I want my perch head back. Stop it. Stop it. I want my bait back. Come here. Get off of there. Got to get my bait. Look at that. That's a good bait still. Throw him down. Get the hook off of there. There we go. All right, there's one line free. This is the one that's on the planer board. We'll pull it in and reset it just to... Sometimes they get all those lines around them, and it's like they just like... I think that's what happened to this fish. He just quit moving. Good looking fish, long body. Did a good job of pulling all that gear in. Let's get him back alive. All right, folks, I had to come out of some of the clothes I had on there. Starting to warm up a little bit. Feels like it's up into the 50s now. Very comfortable out here. Still virtually no breeze. I'm running a trolling motor with no drift sock to move the boat, and just creeping along here. Couple of fish, boom, boom. Right quick there was one on the planer board. I think that fish probably hooked up while I was dealing with the one on this side. I'll tell you one thing that's interesting is sometimes there is almost like an electrical impulse in the water when these fish hit. It's like they can sense a fish over here, how they will hit. You know, I probably got 70, 80 feet between these planer boards. And a lot of times they'll hit on opposite sides right at the same time. So that's interesting how that works out. But a couple of good fish there. Seems to be more fish up here on this flat, like I said earlier. And a good catch rate. We've been out here 3 hours, and we've got 8 fish in the boat. So that's a great winter bite. There's a lot of times here in the winter time, if you get 4 or 5 fish all day long, you've done good. So the fact that you put 8 in the boat in 3 hours, that's great. We had 20 yesterday. So it's definitely a part of this lake too, is where these fish are. A week ago, up in the river, there was a lot of fish up there, a lot of fish getting caught. The other day on my guide trip, we started out there, it wasn't so many. So fish don't stay in one place all the time. Especially it seems like here recently. It was just, I guess, the water. We've got pretty stable water here and stuff in the lakes, and a little bit of an inflow, but no big rises, no big falls. We haven't really seen a mud bank, dam to dam, like we have in past years. I think it's coming though. We're coming in that part of winter where we'll usually get some kind of big rainfall event coming in. So for some of you guys, that means snow. For us, a lot of times it means rain this time of the year. It could be we get some flooding events in January. It's not uncommon, January, February. So we'll see what happens. Right now, we're taking advantage of some great fishing, great time on the water, and just enjoying it before the next cold snap rolls through. Let's see if this one stayed hooked up. Yep, he is there. He is there. Got him on. I don't remember. I think this is the big bait. I couldn't remember if one of our inner lines caught a fish and we pulled it out, but hooked up. Been dragging for a little bit there, didn't get bit. It's almost like these fish are in like little pockets. That either tells me there's some schooling bait they're feeding on, or they got some mussels and snails that they're on. Hard to say. Which is fish. Which is fish. That's all we can do. I had a boat up in front of me. There's so many striper boats out here, people trying to catch stripers. Some of these places, it's like the catfish are in the same place the stripers are a lot of times, or at least I'm fishing in places. Then again, people may think I'm striper fishing. The guys that are into fishing for catfish know that planer boards are an effective tool. The guys that are not into fishing for catfish, that are into striper fishing, don't realize just how many people use planer boards to catch catfish nowadays. And why do you use planer boards? Well, it gives you a bigger spread. You cover more water when you are trolling, and you just got a bigger area. Normally, most of the time it'll help you get tangled up less too when you're running multiple lines like I am. But as you saw earlier, you can still get tangled up, especially when you're dealing with multiple fish on and not paying attention like I was. So it's a good problem to have, though. Happy to be catching fish. Sun's out, getting warm. There's a good one. That right there, guys, is a little fish that ate a big bait. It can happen. Stop, 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 stop. We got guests watching. Stop it, stop it. It can happen. Your big baits do get hit. It eliminates most of your small fish, but you'll get some that'll do it. He took it. A big old bite of bait there, boy. Look at that. That's a big old chunk of food. We're just happy to have them, ain't we? Yeah, big bait don't always mean big fish. Generally speaking, though, it will eliminate the small fish. That time it didn't, but that'll happen. You'll get an over-eager fish every now and then that'll try to choke down one of those baits, and they usually get their eyes gouged out because those bigger baits have a 8/0 circle hook in them, and it usually rolls back out their eyeballs, but it happens. That's 9 fish, man. It's good fishing. It's as good as it gets in the wintertime. You take these days and you enjoy them while you got them. There's usually some cold weather's coming, and it's coming for us in a couple days, and that's just the way it goes, man. That's wintertime. And you know, this is probably seasonal temperatures for us. You know, a little bit warm this morning. It was probably around 39, 40 degrees. So it's a little bit on the warm side for us for lows. You know, yesterday we were down in the 20s. But enjoy it while you can. It can be great fishing for you guys that are in areas where you're able to fish. Even if you're bank fishing, you can get out and find some fish in the wintertime, especially if you got access to some deeper waters. One of the cool things here at this Molly Creek access that they've got here on Wateree Creek, they've got this a brand new access area they put in. They put fishing pier. There's a lot of bank fishing access in there, so it's good that some of these utility companies that own these lakes are doing some things to make bank access easier for people, because most of it is $1 million houses that have the access to it, and not the you know, the working man out there that just wants to go enjoy some time with his family or something. So it's cool some of that's happening. So yeah, you guys, if you're bank fishing, don't feel like you can't catch them in the winter. You can. It's going to be harder. It's going to be harder most of the time, but you can get on some fish. So if you can fish and you can tolerate the cold and you ain't got to go through the ice, get out there and fish. Man, we got one more going. One more fish. Well, he's swimming at the boat. Where's he at? Where's he at? There he is. Boom, hooked up. Man, the wind has died completely. Sun's out. Hard to believe it's gonna rain. It's funny, yesterday's guy trip was supposed to be today, and we were worried about rain. It was like 80-90% rain all week. Well, the rain's coming. It's just coming tonight. That may be it back over there coming, who knows. But gorgeous right now, catching some fish. It's a good bite. It's not giants everywhere, but we're catching fish. Get this one in the boat. Shoot, there we go. Another chicken. Number 12, guys. It's a good day of fishing. As good as it gets. We ain't got no big, super huge, giant fish, but we're catching a lot of fish. We got the big baits out. Produced decent fish. But I'll be honest with you. I, like a lot of people that fish a lot, get a little bit jaded with stuff. Now I say decent fish, that's a fish in the teens. I posted a picture of the fish that the young man caught yesterday, and I had somebody message me and said, man, that's a great fish. I wish I could just catch a 10-pounder. And that's the thing I try to keep in perspective, is that there's a lot of people out there that are fishing areas that just don't have the fish we do. And I'm blessed to be where I'm at. I'm blessed to be as close to the waters that I fish as I am. So I have to stop and kick myself and slap myself when I sit there and say it was a decent fish. A 13, 14, 15, 16, 18-pound fish is a great fish to most people. And I tell people all the time, I still remember clearly and vividly exactly where I was fishing when I caught the first 14-pound fish I ever caught. And I was a grown man. I mean, grown man. And you know, that was awesome. I didn't want to let it go. I did. want to let it go. I want to do like most people, keep it and parade it around town. So my point is, depending on where you fish, how you fish, what's available to you, those little fish, those dinks, as people want to call them, for a lot of people, will be the biggest fish you ever catch. And if you ever have the opportunity to put somebody on a fish like that or help somebody catch a fish like that, man, you will make an impression on them that will last a lifetime. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Here are a couple more videos that I think you're gonna like. I'd watch that one and then that one. No, do that one first and then that one. I don't know, just watch them both. They're both good.